Alex Eala just touched down in the Windy City, Chicago, ready to put pen to paper on a colossal $30 million contract with the hydration giant Gatorade. $30 million. Let that number marinate for a second. While headlines are exploding across the web like a California brush fire, there is a specific crowd out there currently swallowing a jagged pill of reality. The cynics, the trolls, the naysayers, who wasted years broadcasting to anyone with ears that Alex Eala had no business standing on the world stage of elite tennis. The ones who murmured in the shadows, claiming she was a flash in the pan destined to burn out long before touching the summit of the game. Every single one of those critics is glued to their screens right now, watching the ticker tape scroll by in disbelief. And the realization is hitting them harder than a 100-mile-an-hour serve. Because Eala didn't just survive the circuit, she is securing $30 million bags with one of the most legendary sports logos in the galaxy. And the sweetest cherry on top? We are merely watching the opening credits of what is shaping up to be a blockbuster legacy. You have to understand, Gatorade does not just throw $30 million at random athletes. Their vetting process is ruthless because the athletes rocking that lightning bolt are not just selling sugar water. They are icons of grit, sweat, and the kind of relentless drive that lights a fire under millions of people globally. When a titan like that knocks on your door with a check that size, it is a statement. It means they have vetted Alex Eala and concluded she is worth every solitary cent of that investment. They have dissected her career arc, crunched the analytics on her marketability, and zoomed in on the sheer volume and fervor of her supporters spanning multiple continents. And frankly, when you look at the empire she is constructing, both inside the lines and out, the logic is bulletproof. Word on the street is, this is a 2-year pact, effectively crowning Eala as the face of the brand within the entire Women's Tennis Association. But here is the genius stroke in this chess move that most pundits are glossing over. Gatorade is not just sponsoring a tennis pro. They are purchasing a golden key to a massive, hungry market that has been starving for this specific flavor of representation. Alex Eala brings something to the table that literally no other contender in the WTA can touch. She stands alone as the sole East Asian warrior battling at the absolute summit of the women's game. She carries the aspirations of millions throughout the Philippines and the entirety of Southeast Asia every time she laces up her sneakers. And the suits at Gatorade know exactly how that translates into revenue streams and territory expansion. The ceiling here is non-existent. They have positioned themselves perfectly to ride this wave. The sports drink sector is currently sitting at $1.17 billion, and forecasts predict it will swell by over $2 billion before we hit the year 2034. That is a monster pie waiting to be sliced, and the companies that sprint to align with the right icons are going to own that future. This is a masterclass in strategy from Gatorade, seeing Eala as the ultimate bridge, connecting the prestige of tennis to an untapped ocean of consumers across Southeast Asia. She is not just a player, she is a movement, and corporate giants are finally waking up to smell the coffee in a major way. The data supports it, the roar of the crowd confirms it, and the commercial returns from every campaign she touches prove it. Gatorade looked at the receipts, pulled the trigger without hesitation, and now they are about to harvest the fruits of that bold gamble. And get this, the ink is not even dry on the press release yet. Rumor has it they are dropping the official bombshell at the BNP Paribas Open next month. Picture that scene for a second. The glare of the lights, the flashbulbs, the electric buzz in the stadium, then the proclamation that tennis's brightest young star is now fronting the planet's premier sports fuel. The fandom is going to absolutely lose their minds when that news hits the wire. Meanwhile, the detractors are already scrambling, trying to draft a new narrative to hide their embarrassment. And keep in mind, the official word has not even dropped yet. When the curtain finally lifts, watching the critics melt down is going to be pure box office entertainment, and we have got front row seats. Anyone who ever bet against Eala is about to have a very, very rough afternoon. And honestly, they dug their own graves by sleeping on her potential from day one. But here is the secret those haters missed about Alex. She was never just playing for shiny trophies. She was constructing a dynasty from the ground up, brick by brick, contract by contract, and victory by victory. While the peanut gallery was busy writing her off, trying to find cracks in her armor, Eala was quietly stacking paper. She was executing plays that would lock in her legacy for good, securing her financial destiny for generations. That Gatorade contract is a titan, sure, but it is merely one piece of the empire she is constructing. Rewind the tape a bit. Eala inked a massive agreement with NutriAsia earlier this year, That proved she possesses a shark's mind for business. Most athletes grab the quick cash and run. Not her. She demanded a 2% ownership stake. That single move tells you everything you need to know about her long-term vision. Right now, NutriAsia is sitting at a $240 million valuation, jumping 50% in the last year alone. Her slice of that pie is already worth millions, and as the company scales, her wealth multiplies on autopilot. This isn't the strategy of someone looking for a quick fame payout. This is a mogul playing chess, thinking 10, 15, 20 moves ahead to build a legacy that outlasts her jersey. Then consider that NutriFactor campaign that absolutely melted the internet 4 months back. We are talking about a viral juggernaut, racking up somewhere near 70 million views on YouTube. 70 million people voluntarily watching a commercial. Not a pop star's music video, not a Marvel trailer, but an ad starring Alex Eala. That stat is mind-bending when you realize what corporations usually spend to capture that much attention. Getting 70 million pairs of eyes on a brand is a feat companies usually burn hundreds of millions of dollars to achieve. Eala did it effortlessly, simply by being authentic and striking a nerve with the crowd. Global brands saw those massive figures rolling in and immediately hit the panic button, realizing they needed to call her agents fast. It doesn't matter how big you are, Nike has been stalking Eala's metrics, and what they have witnessed has the brass convinced she is the undisputed future of tennis in Asia. Word is Nike is aggressively chasing her signature, terrified of repeating the disaster where they let Coco Gauff slip to New Balance. That fumble was one of the most expensive blunders in Nike's modern history, and the scar tissue is still fresh. Gauff exploded into a marketing supernova, and Nike had to watch all that brand equity walk out the door. They are absolutely hell-bent on not making that same error with Alex Eala. With New Balance and Adidas circling like sharks, Nike knew they couldn't just sit on their hands. The hype surrounding Eala is too deafening, too consistent, and too potent to overlook. The numbers being floated for this potential Nike alliance are eye-watering. Insiders are whispering about $45 million over 3 years, with sweeteners that could send the total sky high. But forget the raw cash, it is the status Nike is offering within their hierarchy that matters most. This would not be your standard wear the shoes and smile endorsement. This is the payoff for the grind, the belief, and the relentless drive to prove the haters wrong day after day. Critics can talk, but the rewards eventually arrive, and when they land for someone like Alex Eala, they land with earth-shattering impact. She has polished her game to elite status and built a brand that transcends the tennis court. She has tapped into a global fan base and cemented herself as a once-in-a-generation icon. To everyone who laughed, who doubted, who tried to box her in the reckoning is here. The $30 million Gatorade deal is real. The Chicago landing is real. The Eala empire is very real. And the only thing more guaranteed than her rise is the bitter regret eating at every single soul who was foolish enough to bet against her.